Hey, this is Tuhon Aditya and welcome to day 11 of our Kali solo training series. Today we're going to be having a relook at double knife. We're going to be starting with our angle 1, angle 2 diagonal lines with our ranging footwork. It's up to you whether you want to be in Pakal or whether you want to be in Saksa. My advice would be do both. So you can do one round of one grip, one round of the other grip. If you want to do 2 rounds, then you can do 2 rounds of each grip. So we're going to be keeping our knives up, whether it's in Saksa or Pakal, keeping our knives up, stepping 1, 2, come back, angle 1, angle 2, 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 and double step. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now there are 2 places you can load the knife. One can be at the center of your chest, just make sure it's not facing you and it's diagonal. The other is by your hip. See which one is more comfortable for you. Both have their pros and cons. We're going to be doing 2 rounds of 3 minutes each, switching grips in between each round, or you can do 4 rounds of 3 minutes each, 2 rounds in Saksa, 2 rounds in Pakal. Next, we're going to be re-looking at our circular lines. Now, instead of how we did last week in Pakal or ice pick grip, we're going to spend this week doing it in Saksa. It's going to be similar in the sense that I'm going to make my knife journey from in front of my nose down to my groin and back up. The edge is also going to be facing inside, so you can imagine it as a cut, down, cut, cut, cut. I'm also going to be trying to make sure that my hands continue this circular motion and it doesn't stay down and then come up, down, up, down, up. The circle continues. I'm going to be doing this on top of my ranging footwork. Also similarly as last time, I'm going to be doing 3 circles for every step. So I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and double step 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I want to ensure that my edge is facing in as I'm cutting up, and as I'm cutting down, my edge is facing out. I don't want to be slapping with the side of the blade. We're going to be doing 2 rounds of 3 minutes each. Next, we're going to be adding in our gunting or scissor principle into our double knife. Now, this works a little bit differently to the way that it would work in double stick. If I have double sticks, if you remember, my inside hand or my opposite hand to the leg that's stepping out. So if my left leg is stepping out, I keep my right hand on top. Here I'm going to be doing the opposite. What I'm imagining is that an angle 1 is coming at me from this direction. With this hand, I'm going to be looking to parry at the wrist. Now I want to be parrying at the wrist. This is very important. Because I'm parrying at the wrist with this hand, the other hand is going to be cutting below. So now you're going to be going whichever leg is stepping out, that same hand is going to be on top. We're also going to be doing the opening motion a little bit differently. So like I said earlier, whichever leg is stepping out, that hand is on top. And then as I open, I'm not going to open on top anymore, I'm going to open down below. So what I'm imagining is that a straight thrust is coming and I'm parrying it to the outside. If you have been training in Pekiti or have been following this channel, you would have seen this drill. Someone is thrusting, I'm parrying it to the outside, controlling the elbow and then thrusting back. So that's what I'm going to be imagining I'm doing. I'm parrying to the outside with this knife. You can also parry and cut that leg. But as this parry is happening, that cut is coming to the forearm because again, I want to be parrying by the wrist. So the gunting is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Whichever leg is stepping out, that hand's on top. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, double step, back, double step, back, double step, back, double step, come back, double step, come back, double step, come back. For now, we're having both our edges facing in on both the high gunting and the low gunting, depending on the context, just because if nothing else, I'm cutting with both, but depending on the context, again, this can be a parrying hand, in which case this will be facing somewhere here as I parry and cut. Similar to when I'm going to be parrying that low thrust, my knife might become like this and then turn into a thrust as the other hand cuts. We're going to be doing 2 rounds of 3 minutes each. Now let's combine our gunting with our basic angles and our basic angle 8 reverse thrust. We're going to be starting with the gunting that we just did, and then this bottom hand is going to come for a medium reverse thrust and then slash back out. If you have been following our single knife work, you would have seen that we did thrust and slash, thrust and slash, thrust, slash. So this is from there where you have the reverse thrust into a slash. So we go gunting, reverse thrust, slash. Now this hand is going to come angle 1, angle 2. Now I go gunting the other way. So gunting, reverse thrust, slash, angle 1, angle 2. Gunting, reverse thrust, slash, angle 1, angle 2. Gunting, reverse thrust and slash, angle 1, angle 2. Gunting, reverse thrust to slash, angle 1, angle 2. Gunting, reverse thrust to slash, angle 1, angle 2. I would recommend that you do this primarily first with the single step, because when you go double step ranging footwork in this, the timing will confuse you. Just make sure that each of the movements are separate, but the transitions between them are smooth. Now let's work on a double knife Sinawali variation. This is going to be thrusting on either side. All of them are going to be thrusts. So the way we're going to start is, again, you can start like this with one hand up, one hand ready for that reverse thrust. You can also start from here in a sort of guard position. Eventually you want to be able to go from here, but in the beginning, if this makes life easier for you, you can start from here as well. So the top hand is going to go thrust and it's going to come back in this sort of circular motion. So I go thrust, reverse thrust, slash, thrust, slash. All 3 thrusts are in the same direction or on the same side. So I go thrust, thrust, and this knife comes across and slashes, thrust and slash, thrust, thrust and slash, thrust and slash, thrust, thrust and slash, thrust and slash. I'm going to be doing this with my open triangle footwork. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, thrust, thrust and slash, thrust and slash. We're going to be doing 2 rounds of 3 minutes each. And last, like we normally do, we're going to end with some Anyo or some free flow. Today you've added a lot to your repertoire. We've added a whole set of new combinations, a whole set of new movements and different grips. So we're going to cycle through those movements. If nothing else, you can do gunting, thrust, slash, thrust, thrust, slash. Go back into your normal Sinawali. When I get lost, angle 1, angle 2, angle 1, angle 2, gunting, thrust, slash, thrust, slash. The Sinawali we did last week. Again, when I get lost, angle 1, angle 2, angle 1, angle 2, circular lines, slash. And then I can, like I spoke about earlier, I can get in movements from my other weapon system. So that's my waterfall. Moving back in to angle 1, angle 2. That's my gunting into thrust and slash. Again, gunting. That's my waterfall. With double knife, you can really play around a lot between what you want to do and where you're borrowing things from. You can take things from double stick, from empty hand, from single knife, single stick, even sword and knife. You can take a whole bunch of things from all over the place and see if they work in this context. We're going to be doing 2 rounds of 3 minutes each. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you have anything to add to the discussion, leave that in the comments down below. If you have any requests or questions regarding future videos or this current video, also leave that in the comments down below. A big thank you to all our patrons for all of their support. If you'd like to know more about our Patreon page, check out the link I'm going to leave down below. Our online classes are up and running. Our residential program is up and running. To enroll for either of them, check out the email address I'm going to leave in the link down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you in the next video.